What's going on, everyone? Today we are taking a look at a new video doorbell. This is the BotsLab Video Doorbell 2 Pro. Taking a look at some of the specs, this has an ultra-wide head-to-toe view with a 5 megapixel resolution, wired or battery-powered installation, up to 210 days of battery life, free cloud storage with no monthly fees, and includes 32 gigabytes of built-in storage. Taking a look inside the box, you have two different mounting bases. One is angled and the other one is flat, and these can be installed with either adhesive or screws. You have some mounting hardware along with some wires, your USB-C to USB-A charging cable, your quick start guide and manuals, your chime unit, which also has 32 gigabytes of built-in storage, and last but not least, you have the actual doorbell itself, which I don't have here at the table since it is already installed outside my house. But overall, definitely a very nice and modern looking unit. So as far as installation goes, this was definitely a very easy process. As I said earlier, you can install this with your existing doorbell wiring, or like in my case, just use the built-in battery for a much easier installation. If you install this with the wires, it is compatible with existing doorbell chimes as well. Taking a look at the video quality, this is definitely a very good looking camera. As you can see here, you have an ultra wide head to toe view, which comes in at a huge 180 by 180 degrees. I've tested quite a few doorbells at this point, and this is by far the largest view I've seen on any doorbell so far. Testing out the motion detection, this also worked very good as well. As soon as someone approaches the doorbell, you'll get a notification, and then if they ring the doorbell, you'll get another one for that as well. Another cool feature this has is called stay detection. Basically, this will detect if someone is lingering outside your door and send you a notification so you can check on it to make sure they aren't a thief or anyone up to no good. Definitely a cool feature to have that adds a little more security to the front of your house. One other benefit of the extra wide view is easily being able to see if any packages are delivered. With my old doorbell, it doesn't show any of the floors, so unless I go outside, I really have no idea if there's a package out there. As you can see here with this one, it's a much wider view that covers the entire floor, so it doesn't matter if the package is big or small, you're still going to be able to see it very easily on this doorbell. Last but not least, I'm definitely happy with the camera's night performance. Everything looks nice and sharp, and faces are also very easy to see and make out as well. Alright, so taking a look at the app, this is definitely very easy to use as well. You just click on the camera like that, and this will bring up the main view of your camera. And this has a few different views you can select from. So right now, this is horizontal correction. As you can see, it looks like a regular horizontal camera. You have vertical correction, so it's going to show you up and down only and cut off the sides. Then you have this fisheye view. When you download videos, by default, they'll be in this format. But then when you view them in the app, that's when you have a few different options you can choose from. And then one of my favorites here, you have VR mode. So this gives you a full 180 by 180 view. As you can see, I can see all the way up in the sky. That thing is blocking, but if that wasn't there, I'd be able to see straight up into the sky. You can see all the way toward my neighbor's house, my other neighbor's house. And then obviously you can see everything out there in front. So definitely a very wide view. And this lets you pan around and kind of see everything all around your entire house. So typically a video doorbell is only going to cover a smaller area. The doorbell I was using before this one was a 140-degree view. So you kind of just saw right about that area, maybe a little less, because with that camera I wasn't able to see any of the floor. But this one you get to see a whole lot more. And one of the advantages of this is you don't have to add a secondary camera in front of your house, as this doorbell all alone covers all areas you could possibly need out in front of your house. Using this for a few days, I found that using it in vertical correction mode is my favorite way to use it. If I want to see more, then I'll go into the other modes, but for basic doorbell uses, I think this mode gives you the best view for right there in front of your stairs, and it does give you that full head-to-toe view as well. So looking at the rest of the app, right down here you have your video quality, you have Fluent HD or UHD. I just leave it on the highest quality as I want to see everything nice and clear. And then right down here you have a few different buttons. You have video capture, so you can record what you're seeing on the screen. You have snapshots, it'll save an image of what you see there. You have voice, as this does have two-way audio, so if someone is out there, you want to tell them to go away or something, You go ahead and push that and talk to them and tell them that on the camera. You have audio on and off, so you can hear what's going on out there, or turn that off. And then right down here, you have a few more things. You have manual alarm. So if there is someone lingering out there and you don't want them to be there, you can hit that manual alarm. Hopefully it'll scare them away. You have reply. So if you don't want to talk, but you do want to say something, you have a few different options you can choose from here. You can say, please leave right now. Please leave the package at the door. We'll be right there. Basically a bunch of general commands that you will most likely need for someone at your door. And then last but not least, right down here, you have your voice settings. So when you're talking to them on the camera, you can leave it normal, or you can change it to a male voice or a funny voice. I guess if you want to disguise yourself or just mess around with somebody, you go ahead and use that. And then right down here, you have 3 different views. So you have live view, and then you have your cloud and local storage. As I said earlier, this has 32 gigabytes of built-in storage. This does not require an SD card. I've seen a few other doorbells that come with 8, maybe 16 gigabytes of storage, but this is the first one I've seen that comes with a much larger 32 gigabytes. Besides that, you also get cloud storage, and this is completely free with no monthly payment, which is not something you see very often. So right here, a few different clips, and you can just click through those and see all the triggers that happen throughout the day. And it also categorizes them. So if it's basic motion, it'll say motion. Then it has person, if someone rang your doorbell. And then it has another one if someone was lingering out there as well. Diving into the settings, you have motion recordings on and off. You have ring alerts on and off. Do not disturb schedule. So if at a certain time you don't want to receive notifications, you can go ahead and set that here. You have message settings, and these are basically your notification settings that you can turn on and off depending which ones you want. You have lingering alarm. As I said earlier, if someone's lingering outside your door, it will send you a notification. But if you want it, you can also set an alarm as well. For regular usage, I probably wouldn't turn this on because there might be a mailman waiting out there and I wouldn't want to put an alarm. That's just going to be kind of obnoxious. But I guess if you're out on vacation and you're not home, this would probably be something good to use. So this way, if there is someone hanging outside your door, you can go ahead and try to scare them away just like in the photo. So not something I would turn on by default, but definitely something good to use if you're going to be away from your house. You have anti-theft siren. So if someone tries to tamper with your doorbell, it'll also make an alarm. Detection zone, so you can go ahead and play with this and get it to the best setting you want for your house. It'll depend on the angle of your camera and whereabout you have it mounted. As you can see, my street ends there, so if I go a little further, I'll start getting notifications about cars passing by, and I wouldn't want that. So I'll set mine right about there. This is definitely very cool to see as well, because I've had a lot of other doorbells where you can adjust this slider, but it doesn't show you the actual image. So you kind of just got to set it somewhere, wait a few hours, see if it's still triggering, turn it up or turn it lower, and just kind of mess with it and kind of play it by ear, not knowing what exactly you're doing. But having this visual element here really helps to fine tune it and get it exactly where you want it. So I'll set mine right there so I don't get disturbed by the street. And then you have sensitivity for how many notifications you want to get. If you're on wired connection, probably best just put it on high, but if you're on battery, it's probably better to put it on medium so you don't waste your battery as quick and get notified by a bunch of false alarms. You have image, night, and sound settings. Right up here, you have audio settings. You can change the volume for your chime and other sounds as well. You have your doorbell button indicator. You can turn that on or off. Anti-flicker setting. This has HDR. For a better and brighter image, I'll recommend leaving that on. You have auto night vision. As soon as it detects it's dark out, it'll switch over to the IR lights to give you a much better view. Battery saving mode, this is basically where you customize how long you want it to record. Personally, if something triggers my camera, I want it to record the longest clip possible so I can see a little bit of what happened and see more of what happened afterwards. So I'll just leave it on 60 seconds. This is going to give me a shorter battery life, but I want this for security, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that at the longest. And then you have detection interval. Personally, I'll probably set this about 10 seconds maybe. Because if you have it at 0 seconds, as soon as someone walks away and something else triggers it, it's going to set another alarm. It could be the same thing that's still there. So I like to leave a little bit of pause in between so it doesn't get triggered again so quickly. You have device health, which shows you your battery life and your Wi-Fi strength. You have storage. As I said earlier, you have 32 gigabytes of storage. I guess after software, you end up with 28.9 gigabyte, which is definitely a whole lot of storage, especially for just doorbell videos. I've been messing with this a lot and doing a lot of test clips, and over the past week, I've only accumulated 157 megabytes. Looking at the specs, it says that 32 gigabyte will store an entire year of video on this, so definitely a whole lot of storage. And after that year, you don't have to worry about it, as well as new clips will just overwrite the old clips, and keep doing that the entire time so you don't have to worry about it. You have other settings. As I said earlier, this does work with your existing door chime. So if you're going to use your existing chime, you'll go ahead and change these settings here to make sure it works properly. The chime that came with my house is pretty wonky and not wired properly, so I can't get it to work with any of these doorbells. But the chime that comes with this is very loud. If you place it in the center of your house, you should be able to hear it throughout your house, no problem at all. Honestly, on the loudest setting, it was a little bit too loud, so I actually turned it down a little more just so it wasn't as ear-piercing. And last but not least, as you can see here, this is compatible with Alexa and Google Home as well. So if you have an Alexa or Google Smart Screen, you can also view it on there as well. And that's about it for the app. Like I said earlier, definitely an app that's very easy to navigate and use as well. Overall, this is definitely a solid doorbell. The video quality is great, it's very affordable, and it offers one of the best views out there as well. So overall, if you happen to be shopping for a video doorbell, I would highly recommend this one here, which again is the BotsLab Video Doorbell 2 Pro. If you would like more information on this doorbell, I'll also put the link to it in the description as well. Alright, well that about wraps up this video. As usual, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop me a comment and let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.